Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween Horror Nights, and oh my gosh, I am so excited, especially for this year, because okay, I always love Halloween Horror Nights, but this year especially has Five Nights at Freddy's and Fallout, two video games that I love, so I'm super duper pumped. And of course they have other houses there like Jason and Terrifier, which is interesting. I'm genuinely scared for that house, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do all the houses because Universal Studios actually invited me to join them for their opening day as media. So heck yeah, I'm gonna go all out, go into all the houses, try as many things as possible, everything that they offer at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, and of course dress the part. So because I love Five Nights at Freddy's so much, I wanted to wear a Five Nights at Freddy's inspired outfit. Now, Universal Studios actually invited me out to preview the Five Nights at Freddy's house a few weeks ago, and I dressed up as Freddy Fazbear. So for today, I thought I'd dress up as another character that I really love, the puppet. And although the puppet is not in this year's house because the house is themed after the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I believe that the puppet is supposed to be in part 2 that's coming out on my birthday this year, December 5th. Isn't that so funny? So I'm like, okay, I have to dress up as a puppet, and I already have the outfit. So essentially what it is a black mini dress, and that is necessary because it is going to be hot today. Not as hot as last year. Last year was, oh my goodness gracious, hot. Like beyond hot. It was so dang hot last year. This year, still hot, but not as bad as last year. I'm hoping. I feel like, yeah, it's not as bad as last year. But yeah, so all black mini dress with some very sheer black tights, but then over the knee long socks, these striped long socks. Then I also got these gloves that are also claws, and then some fingerless gloves to layer over that with the stripes to match the socks so it could look like the puppet. And then, oh my gosh, I'm already losing my voice. And then the last thing is the makeup. So I'm not gonna go crazy and do like a full face of costume makeup for the puppet, but I am going to do like little bits of the colors that the puppet has. So like the purple, and then maybe like really rosy cheeks, and I mean that's pretty much about it. So we'll see. Oh yeah, and then for more detail, my husband actually 3D printed me these giant buttons that I just need to paint white and then sew onto the dress, and that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect for the puppet because, again, that's actually one other detail that I really needed. So it's like the black and white stripes for the arms and the legs, and then also the buttons are really what make it look like the puppet. So perfect, I am good to go, so excited. Okay, hair and makeup, outfit complete. This is the full puppet look. Obviously you can't see my feet, but I'll insert like my full look right here. I added the buttons. Hopefully I don't absolutely destroy my dress underneath. I just sewed them on just very loosely so I'd be able to take it off easily. So again, hopefully that does not damage the dress because I really like this dress. But yeah, that's pretty much the full fit. The gloves are a combination of these all black gloves that have the claws, and then also fingerless gloves that have the stripes. So I'm wearing 2 gloves. Again, it's very hot today, so let's see how I survive. I mostly just want this for the photo and of course for Five Nights at Freddy's, and then if it gets too hot, I'll just take the gloves off, I'll take my tights off, I'll take my socks off, and I'll just wear the black dress. Maybe I'll even take the buttons off if it doesn't damage it and if I find a way to actually take off the buttons. But I feel like the buttons really like put the look together. Sure, these stripes are really what is iconic from the puppet look, as well as the claws, but I feel like the buttons are also really important. But yeah, here's a look for Halloween Horror Nights, so let's head on over to Universal Studios. As an invited guest to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, we're actually able to walk the red carpet, which I think was so cool. I love that Universal does this for us. Like, I think that is so special and unique, and I just really appreciate Universal Studios for doing that for us, making us feel so special. But after my moment on the red carpet, the actual celebrities came in. So we actually went to the reception, which was at the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium. So we just finished up the red carpet, which of course I was a nervous wreck the entire time, like I always am. But I think it turned out good. We'll see how the photos turned out at the end. But now we're at the reception and we get to eat little sliders and little zucchini mozzarella sticks or something, like little appetizers and stuff before the actual event. and we get to like mingle with other creators. It's pretty great. So after loading up on sugar and having a million of those little slider things, because dang, they're so good, we headed over to Universal Studios Hollywood. Now, it was opening night and it was a sold out event this night, so I was expecting it to like not be able to walk around because I was going to be like squished like a sardine because there's so many people, but that wasn't the case. Thank goodness. It was actually very, very enjoyable. There was lots of space, plenty of room for the scare actors to run up and scare me, so that was perfect, and just like really great ambiance overall. So I went ahead and enjoyed some of the scare zones, which are fantastic. Again, Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights scare actors are amazing at what they do, and just the production value of Halloween Horror Nights is fantastic. And of course, there's so much to do at HHN, but I definitely wanted to go to the mazes. In line for Five Nights at Freddy's. 85-minute wait, even though the park opened 20 minutes ago, and we are currently in Express, which is a 15-minute wait, which thank goodness for Express. But yeah, super duper excited for this house. It is the first house of the night.
Introduce you to the stars of the show. Welcome to Pretty Classes, a magical place. You're welcome to the video. It means you can watch it at Freddy's.
Just got out of Five Nights at Freddy's, and that was absolutely amazing. If you are a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, you're going to love this maze so much. And in terms of like scariness, I feel like it's not that scary. Obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's has horror elements to it. But in terms of just like terrifying or like gruesome scenes, it's not that bad. Also, they added these scare actors, which for some reason I thought it was just going to be the animatronics, but no. The scare actors just pop out of nowhere, and they're genuinely scary looking. So I had a really fun time. Even with the preview that I went to and I saw all the animatronics, like the fact that they had the lights and the sounds and the projections and the scare actors, it was amazing. It was so good. It's well worth the hype.
She drowned her children because of a man, then drowned herself in the same river. They say those who hear her cries are marked for death. She killed her children all because of a man. She drowned them in the river.
genuinely just brought in all of the childhood fear that I had from the kukui. I know it wasn't even the kukui, but this monster is this giant monster. Oh my god, it calmed down. Oh my god, I was so scared. I'm pretty sure it's because these are the monsters that I grew up with. The Hispanic monsters, these monsters and these demons and these witches and these spirits that would just haunt and like go after children and just like, oh my god. Seeing them brought to life like genuinely just absolutely scared me, and they're huge. They're huge. The animatronics in there are ginormous and they're so flippin' scary. There was a point where I couldn't even record because I just like genuinely wanted to get out of there, and I'm not afraid of cat. That's not something that I normally do in these mazes. I get scared. I'm like, oh yeah, fun stuff. But that was genuinely scary. That like filled me with so much emotion. I think what I felt was a fight or fright. Fight or, oh my gosh. There's a monster coming up to me right now. Okay. They went away. Okay. Monstros 3. If you also grew up with Hispanic folklore, you're going to love this in the worst way possible, no, in the best way possible. It was genuinely scary, and I just had to get my immediate reaction. That was insane.
Long range basketball. But there's always somebody behind the wheel.
So to avoid this video being super duper long, I went ahead and just included the overall vlog that I shared on my Instagram and TikTok, and it covers all of the houses that we went into and a little review, so here it is. Halloween Horror Nights opening night started off with a killer surprise on the red carpet before heading into the park for my #1 most anticipated house, you know it, Five Nights at Freddy's. Sure, I was able to tour this house for an early preview, but this time it had sounds, projections, and scare actors that really brought this house to life. As a fan, this was everything I could have ever wanted from a FNAF experience, aside from an actual Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, of course. And since this house was way down in the lower lot, we stopped by the Scarecrow the Reaping featuring the music from Slash, and there were plenty of scares around every corner for sure, but I do wish that they were blasting Slash music because I was expecting to be rocking out as I was getting scared, but I barely heard any music. The Slash bar looked cool though. Jason Universe was up next, and I heard that this one was a top contender for scariest house of HHN, and I will admit, it is pretty good. You get lots of Jason and different iterations of Jason, different iconic scenes and creative kills. It's a good house. Last up was Wyatt Six House, which is themed after a very popular WWE group that I know nothing about, but was totally down to get spooked by, and the main guy, Uncle Howdy, apparently, seemed to be following me around the whole house. He was trying to get me at like every turn, and it was awesome. The other characters of the house look cool too, not necessarily a scary house, but I did enjoy the twisted theming and the abundance of characters. Art the Clown sighting on our way back to the upper lot to experience my second most anticipated house, Fallout. As a big fan of the games and the show, it was so cool to catch the Easter eggs, details, and feel like you're walking through the various scenes throughout the show. And oh my gosh, the mutated bear animatronic looks so good. I thought it was gonna jump out and just bite us. Everything looks so good in this house. Chaos everywhere. It's great, but then it just ends. And I just think it's too short. 2 more rooms would have made this peak. Then, oh my gosh, we went into Monstros, which is themed after various Latin American monsters and folklore, which are monsters that I grew up with. So needless to say, I got scared. And not like, jump scare, haha, so fun, like I am with every house. Monstros is literally the only house that has ever sent me into a genuine fight or flight fear. Are you kidding me? This was literally one of my childhood fears and greatest nightmares, and to see it come to life, I mean, I couldn't. I was unwell after that. But after pulling myself together, we tackled the last 2 houses. Poltergeist was interesting because I felt like I just walked into someone's house and, like, not gonna lie, they have a nice house, but yeah, the ghosts started taking over and I didn't know what the heck was going on, but it was spooky. Lastly, the Terrifier house with Art the Clown. Admittedly, I was the most nervous about entering this house, especially since there was a gazillion signs saying that you will get wet. I thought I was gonna get soaked, but it honestly wasn't too bad. I got hit in the face with bleach once, blood dripped from above once, and that was about it. Just know that this house has some very disturbing scenes and smells. We closed the night with the Blumhouse tram tour, the Purge show, and a quick goodbye to Hamikuma. It was a truly horrific night at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. And this is me after a full night of Halloween Horror Nights. We were able to do all of the houses. Thank you so much again to Universal Studios for inviting us for opening night of Halloween Horror Nights here at Universal Studios Hollywood. It was so much fun. I will give you the ranking of each house. Of course, I want to say that number 1 was Five Nights at Freddy's. I love that house. So much detail. The animatronics look amazing, and even the scare actors that were added in were genuinely scary. Like, their faces were terrifying, and they just came out of places that you didn't expect. So that was really great. I would definitely have to say that Monstros was genuinely the scariest one ever. But I think that I was very biased because I grew up with those monsters, that folklore, terrifying me as a kid, and seeing them come to life was just literally my worst nightmare. So it was terrible, but in a great way, because again, it genuinely scared me. And I don't get genuinely scared in these mazes. It's fun to be jump scared in these, and I do get jump scared. It's like a little thrill, but that one genuinely terrified me. So it's going to be a thrill rewatching that footage to edit into this video. Just know I'm editing it like. But so, and then I will list the rest here, because we actually have to go. They're going down and we have to leave. So thank you so much again for coming along on this Halloween Horror Night journey, and be sure that you also attend Halloween Horror Nights this year because they have so many great houses, and we'll see you in the fall.